I'm a warrior of the wild. See the fire in my eyes. The ember leaves you terrified. And I'm guided by the light. Every time you knock me down, I will turn it back around. Forged by the revolution.
No one holding and no one to folding.
All right, we're back, week 6. I feel like you're keeping up with us now. We're up to week 6, Mossy Oaks turkey season 2026. And I hate to keep saying this, but I know how much work it is. This is our gift to y'all. Passing that time, some states turkey season hadn't opened yet, maybe it has. It's always fun to watch how other people do it, and that's why we collect all this content. Mossy Oak turkey season 2026, week 6. Let's get going.
Good morning, everybody. It is April the 21st, and we are still in Kentucky. Plenty of turkeys to hunt up this holler, or there was yesterday. Yesterday being Easter, we were up on the mountain, and I don't know if you caught that episode. I don't even know what that episode's going to make. Sometimes I drop this camera. Sometimes the camera, as important as it is, I don't know what year we're in of the Pinhoti project now, but sometimes I just drop the camera. It's bigger than the camera sometimes, and I think I probably did that yesterday a time or two, or 9, 10. But you know, you get to reflect and thinking about what you're doing for a living here in front of this camera and building turkey calls and selling t-shirts, and it's a blessing, and you just wonder about the direction that you're going and how you're influencing people, and the amount of people watch these videos is staggering to me. And if you're putting your best foot forward, and I don't know, I think there's always room for improvement for all of us, and I think I'm one of them. So I'll remember Easter of 2025 for a while. I don't know, I was up on that mountain and it just hit different. I don't know if it'll come through video. I don't even know if I'll show any of it, but it was just a good day up on the mountain yesterday. If you guys have been following this thing forever, you've got to hold myself responsible and just make little changes here and there, live better, I guess. Not that I ain't been robbing banks or, you know, kicking down old ladies or nothing, but I think there's always room for improvement, probably for all of us. And I hold this video camera every day during the spring, and I don't know if I do as well as I should or I could. And we do the beginning of the year prayer, but I think we're fixing to start incorporating prayer with every one of our hunts. And typically I do that, but it's kind of a little silent thing that I'll do at the tree. But I think it would be important, and if it maybe influences one person out there to do the same, then maybe somebody else will start, you know, live a little bit more in peace or something. I don't know what I'm aiming to do here. I'm just feeling my way through it. So that being said, it's April 21st, and we're hoping to find a turkey in a little better mood. But yeah, that's what we're doing this morning. So let's pray over it. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for another day. Thank you for spring. Thank you for allowing us to be healthy and strong. Dear Lord, give us the strength to climb the mountain and do as you wish. Represent you every step along the way. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the opportunity to hunt this creation. And dear Lord, may everything we do, every step we take, be in your glory. In Jesus' beautiful name we pray. Amen. We're going to do more of that, I think, right in front of this camera. I'm not going to nag anybody about the way I think you should do things or the way you shouldn't. I'm just going to do things the way I think they should be done, and that's what I'm going to do. Hope y'all join me. The turkeys are gone. They gobbled. They gobbled probably
crushing it like they have the last couple mornings. It's supposed to rain today, so I don't know if that's got something to do with it. But they're way down the mountain, down toward the other toe. There's like that same probably group of them that I was on yesterday. 3 or 4 turkeys. We come down to this toe and we're walking up it. I want to hear from right here to figure out what we need to do. So we're walking up this spine. I didn't hit that dang woodpecker, so it ain't good. We had a 50-50 shot, and I took what I felt like was half the least resistance here. But as you can see, the midstory and stuff's a bit thicker. I don't know if you can see or not. Anyway, I was looking at the map. It's probably a 10 turkeys shot. I'm gonna go the other way. It just looks more favorable, and that's exactly, pretty sure that's exactly what they've done. So we gotta go back, get on the bike, go around the bottom side of them, and come up on the other side. That's just the nature of dealing with the turkeys right now. Make him go, gooses. There's no way that's the turkeys I just heard gobble. No way. So I've done my best to try to screw that one up this morning. And I thought them turkeys were up at least 1 bench, if not 2. I come blazing down the gravel road on the e-bike and bump 2 hens. I don't bump them hard. I guess they're used to people coming up and down that gravel road because it's traveled. And they kind of bounced off, they kind of bounced up, and I just looked up above them. And there was, I think, 3 gobblers. One of them, they turned and started walking back up the mountain. One of them popped straight out. They weren't spooked at all, really. So, let them get up there, and they've gobbled twice now. And I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. What I know I'm doing is I'm going up this stupid steep drain right here. And they get up to their bench. And the way this thing does, it rolls around. And we'll climb up there to get to their level and then try to roll around and locate them. I just can't get it right this morning. I just bumped them again. I had the right idea, I just didn't do it quick enough. Because this drain is an absolute beast. And I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but dang it, man. I get up here to where I've not got it whooped, but I'm well on my way. But I guess they were coming this way the whole time, because I just look up on this steep ridge side right here and I see 2 gobblers. Kind of just, they'd seen me, I heard a little low putting, and they just kind of, quick walked. Right on up the drain. I tried to put it on video, but I had a stick caught in the zoom, so I was trying to zoom, but I didn't do it anyway. I doubt I got it, but we bumped them again. Thought we were going to be able to walk up this point right here and to the top, but as you can see, slight problem with that. But we're going to start making an exit, because if you can't tell by the wind, this rain that they had forecasted to come in this morning appears that it's fixing to make it. Oh, top of the morning to everybody. We're going turkey hunting in our old turkey. I call him an old turkey. He may be a 3/4 inch 2-year-old, 3/4 inch bird 2-year-old, but our old turkey roosted in the same place that he had
a couple days ago. If you guys remember, he lives in a tough spot. He lives on a hogback ridge top. It's kind of this big old huge mountain, and it fingers out, and we're all the way at the end of it, and he uses the top. Anyways, we're going after that turkey, and it could get dicey because when he gobbled up there, I had looked the place over when I was there, and he beat my face in a couple days ago, and I picked out a tree, and we're going to try to get to that tree, even though looking at Onyx, that turkey could potentially be 40 to 50 yards from us. So I don't know what it's going to look like at daylight, but it could get dicey. So y'all go with me and let's think on it. Oh, dear Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for today. Thank you for spring. Thank you for these experiences that we're getting to gather here with you. Dear Lord, just please help guide us through the day. Help keep everybody safe that's traveling. Keep everybody safe that's at home. Dear Heavenly Father, just if any lost souls out there, please lend them your hand and then show them the way. In Jesus' beautiful name we pray. Amen. We got to our tree. I can hear him drumming. He is close. Like real close. I'm looking at the turkey on the limb. Hens are yelping to the left.
We got that joker. He just fell all the way down that cliff. God, he just fell all the way to the bottom. We gotta go get him. Y'all see those sticks in that tree? I picked that out 2 days ago. Grab some sticks and put it around it. Them jokers are still roosted right with hens, man. Still. God. Sorry about that tumble, buddy. That's just where you choose to call home. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Oh, what a beautiful thing. We found him. We were, up there. And when he fell off this thing, I knew most of this was that rock outcropping. And I knew I probably couldn't get back up there, so I wanted to grab my stuff. Which means when I got down here, well, there was no flopping to listen for. And I was afraid that if he flopped another 20 yards, he'd have went down another one. So, we got him. He's a big old toad too. I knew he was gonna be. I knew it. I begging. You have this. I get these feelings, and half the time you'll shoot them and they'll be a 2-year-old, and I don't care. But I just had a feeling his gobble was a little different. I won't say it was a ground shaking gobble. It was more of a smooth, like a chuckle almost, rather than just a caw, like a whip crack, and it was a chuckle. And when I saw him down there strutting with them turkeys, this is the turkey we hunted second day we were here. And he's roosted right here. I've been waiting for him to roost here every evening since. I picked me a tree out up there because this is such a difficult place to get a good sit on a turkey for the most part, because if it's up and down, buddy, it's so steep. You want to try to get them on these benches like this, but even then it can be super challenging, because if you pick the wrong bench, like right here I can see 5 yards, and so it falls over, and if he decides to go a bench above you, well, heck, he's 100 feet above you. So it's just the challenges of this particular spot, but I love it. But anyways, we've been waiting on him. I picked a tree out up there and even drug some limbs around it. I thought, if he roosts right there again, this tree right here is the best option. So when he gobbled right here yesterday evening, and I didn't have a camera with me, so I know none of that's documented, but he gobbled yesterday evening. That turkey didn't gobble, but he gobbled yesterday evening. When he did, I thought, I know where I'm at. I don't even have to think about it. I know exactly where I'm going. If there's a better place to be, somebody let me know, because I would dispute that rugged hardwood timber mountains. The progression of spring is so evident right now. This is my 5th day in Kentucky. And I was on this ridge, on these ridges, 5 days ago. this type stuff was almost not noticeable. You couldn't notice it. The woods were absolutely just almost dead. Little bitty shoots. In the last 5 days, this has happened. I hunted this area a couple years ago, and another turkey roosted here as well. I had a pin on my phone that's, turkey roosted right here. Now, is it the same turkey from 3 years ago? I don't know. Who knows? They say turkeys like to roost in the same places, etc., etc. But anyway, this turkey was roosted in the same place from the pen that I had dropped several years ago. Year before last, I think. So is this a 4-year-old turkey? I mean, I don't feel like they do that a lot up here in these rocks. That's better than 1.25 inches if I was just a guessing man. We'll never know because I won't stretch a tape on them because I don't care. Experience, and I just feel like we have fooled an old turkey, a smart turkey. The fatal mistake is he chatted a little too much, and that's what gets a lot of these turkeys in trouble. He let me know that he was back in here yesterday evening. Thank you, Lord, for letting us see it one more time. Here's to turning new leaves in old places, familiar places. grab him. Go, run. Grab his head.
We had 1 minute left on the battery. 1 minute.
Man, did they put on a show or what?
Oh my gosh.
Good job.
Here's,
Avery, boom.
here's that other battery.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Good job, Ace.
That's a nice bird.
You have to hold him up a little higher.
Did they gobble
You don't
and
wanna mess up
talk?
his feathers.
Man,
There you go.
that's worth waiting until the last day of season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's a big bird.
Yeah.
Look at those hooks.
Did you hear all those jakes up there?
Oh yeah. There was 2 longbeards, wasn't there?
2 longbeards. We saw them come all the way down.
Yeah.
And of course they didn't come on the trail. They decided to.
If me and Hayden were switched, I could have killed him a lot earlier because that tree kept blocking
Your
where he was
view.
standing.
I was starting to get nervous because he was getting pretty loud to me,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh boy, somehow they're getting beside you."
We I was afraid we're gonna run out of either camera battery or they're gonna get too far.
And we thought they were going to come over here, but
Yeah.
they came over here.
I was trying to get them to come down on your right side, but they never. It never works out. But congratulations.
Good job, Avery.
Watch out! Okay, hold this. You did that? Oh my gosh. Is Uncle Daniel the affiliate? You want to do? Okay, wait, let it. Come here, Annabelle. You can go next.
With the explosion, I lost my eyesight totally, so now the world around me is black. But even more beautiful, I hear the birds chirping. I can feel the breeze, so I can see it in my head, what's going on around me. And nature continues to be beautiful, and being able to see this through my hearing, through my feel, it gives me comfort and gives me peace knowing that I was knocked down, losing my eyesight. I might be down, but I'm not out. I'm Major John Turnbull. It's truly an honor to be an American, knowing that there are people out there who take care of each other. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be on American soil. It's truly just a wonderful experience. In 2001, on 9/11, I was working as a lifeguard at a local pool when my boss came in to where I was working and grabbed me and said, "You have to come see this." Watching the video footage from the terrorist attack from 9/11, I discovered something in myself that I first discovered. I wanted to do something. I felt helpless and I didn't want anybody else to feel that way. And I wanted to stand for justice and defend freedom. So it was in that moment I decided that after graduating high school, I would join the United States Army. I attended the United States Military Academy, graduating in 2010, and I was commissioned a second lieutenant, an officer in the United States Army. From 2010 until now, I traveled all around the world, deploying in 2012 and 13 to Afghanistan, 2015-16 to the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, 2016 again to Lebanon. Late in the fall of 2018, I was chosen to lead a special operations team, and I deployed again for my 5th deployment to Iraq in the countering ISIS fight. While I was in Iraq, I was again chosen to lead a special team called a cross-functional team, and I was sent into Syria to wage war against ISIS, the Islamic State. Arrived in Syria in September of 2018, and my team, we assembled and we started working a unique approach to combating terrorism. We did 3 big things. We restored power to the region, about 500,000 people. The second thing is we rebuilt and refurbished a hospital, one of the only hospitals in our entire region. And finally, we opened the schools back up for women to return to school after a 7 years prohibition from ISIS. So these 3 things we all did while we were able to successfully remove control of ISIS over the people and remove their stain from the area, making it so they couldn't terrorize the people. This all came to a head in January on the fateful day, January 16th in 2019. My team had left one of the schools where the young ladies were returning to school. We were doing just a routine combat patrol to make sure everything was okay in our sector when an ISIS fighter approached my group wearing a suicide vest and detonated it 10 foot from me right in the middle of my team, killing 4 patriotic American heroes that day. Killing Chief Warrant Officer John Farmer, who left behind a wife and 4 children, Chief Petty Officer Shannon Kent, who left behind her husband and 2 children, Mr. Scott Wirtz, and Miss Gadir Tahir, who was affectionately known by her family and her team and all of her friends as Jasmine. The explosion wounded myself severely and injured 2 other amazing Americans, my teammates, a guy by the name of Devin, another guy by the name of Joe. After January 16th's explosion, I was medically evacuated to Iraq, where I underwent numerous surgeries, life-saving surgeries to save my life. And a couple days after all these surgeries in Iraq, I was then transported to Germany, where I continued to undergo surgery to keep me alive long enough for my wife, my father and my mother to arrive in Germany to be there to hold my hand through the journey. From there, we flew to the United States, where I spent 24 months at Walter Reed in Bethesda at the National Military Medical Center. I underwent 22 more life-saving surgeries, everything from restoring my hearing to pulling out multiple clumps of shrapnel from my body. After being given 0% chance of survival, numerous times being told I couldn't walk, I wouldn't have any memory, I overcame these odds with grit and determination, knowing that I had to live for my family, not just my immediate family, but now my January 16th family, my team, and provide support to them, love and comfort. So I did this through overcoming the odds. Being told I couldn't walk, 6 months from that call, I ran in the Army 10-miler and was discharged from the hospital, and I've continued to live my life. I began another fight, and that was to stay in the Army. I wanted to continue to serve my country, continue to defend freedom, and ended up medically retiring from the United States Army in November of 2021. And then from November to this current day, I've had just the most wonderful experiences of my life. People coming together, understanding that I still struggle with my post-traumatic stress disorder, waging the battle against depression, and wondering, asking myself, why did this happen? you know, what is there for me to do in this life? People have come together and have helped me through amazing experiences that have led me to San Antonio, Texas, where I am today. Maybe a ton or two.
It sounds like it. There's a tom coming. Go ahead and shoulder your gun.
Get ready for it.
Fire, fire, fire. Nice job, brother. I can promise you I was more nervous than he was.
I could tell.
I was freaking tight, man. Good work.
Good job.
That's so cool, man.
That's awesome.
That was some good work right there. You bared with me.
Perfect.
The face in your fairy tale looked like me. It was all you need. Just stick to the story, please. You say that you want to see me, but truth is scary. So here I stand alone.
I don't live in it. Oh, there we go.
Right down, right there. There's, you're on the wing.
Yep.
You feel in this.
Yep.
Right down, right there. Keep sliding down his wing to his leg. There's the spurs. Sharp, huh?
Nice.
Yeah, they're about an inch.
Yeah. Big feet. Thank you, bird.
That other bird didn't want to come out of strut, did he? I didn't know what you guys were doing, so I didn't dare try and make him stick his head up or anything.
Before the explosion, I would say I was normal. I could see the world around me. I enjoyed the beauty of a sunrise and the beauty of nature using my eyes. With the explosion, I lost my eyesight totally, so now the world around me is black. And learning to adjust to it has been very difficult. But I come out and I do events like a turkey hunt, and then Veterans of Field Foundation brought me here to beautiful San Antonio, Texas to hunt a wild turkey. Now the intent was to hunt a turkey, but the purpose was so much greater than just hunting and bagging a beautiful bird. The goal was to help myself find peace in nature through hunting therapy, but also to enjoy camaraderie with good fellow Americans who are thankful for what I've accomplished, or so they tell me. and what I've done, my sacrifices, but there are other veterans here that have gone through similar things that I have, same walks of life, where we're able to sit together and visit with each other, explaining, our pains and our suffering, and finding a way out, a way to vent, a way to release pent-up emotions and things that we haven't dealt with, not just by shooting a turkey, but through horseback riding, through walking this beautiful terrain. I'm humbled and I'm grateful to be surrounded by hardworking Americans that love this country, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the smiles you give, helping me find peace and seeing what love truly is.
To Major Jonathan Turnbull, thank you for your service, and everyone at Mossy Oak is honored to know you.
This way. Stay on the one on the far right. They're all too close together. Okay, we want to talk about a midday scenario. We're walking through the woods. I, a lot of times, use a turkey call for a midday locator. I don't use a lot of crow calls and that kind of thing to get a shot gobble. I'm usually drifting through the woods, and before I will ever put the call in my mouth, I'm looking around trying to figure out where the roll in the hill is, where I can get to where a turkey will only see me from 35 yards, where I can use a bend in the road. I'm always looking for a setup position before I hit the call. The biggest thing you can do as a turkey hunter to prepare yourself is expect a turkey to gobble every time you call. And a lot of times, once I have my little setup, once I have a thick spot, a good tree, and when you're doing this, you always want to start soft because you can always pick up the volume, but it's impossible to ever hit rewind on that kind of situation. So when I start, I will pick out my spot that I want to sit in case it all goes down, and I'll start with this. And I'll give that a second. He's thinking about it. He may have just raised a hair up on the back of his neck. He's looking, he's thinking about it. And that's, if he doesn't gobble, I'll raise the volume just a little bit more. Something like that. And if he still doesn't gobble, in my opinion, a turkey's still listening to me. It's my job to try to convince him to crack one off so I know what to do. And so then, step number 3. And then, hopefully you get a turkey to gobble. If not, stroll on down the ridge and check the next one.
So really looking forward to turkey season, and in typical fashion, the Mississippi River jumped up a bunch in the spring like it always kind of does, but this year there was a lot of snow melt and it got to 40 feet, and at 32 feet they actually closed turkey season. So we had been watching the gauge, hoping it dropped down below 32, but it did not. So we actually missed, I think, the first 6 or 7 days of our season having to wait for the river to fall. So Edward was going to come up, and we were going to try to get his wife and some other people some turkeys. So I'd been scouting and found a turkey in a spot that we really don't hunt that often. And so I told him, hey, if you can get up here, we'll try to go fool with this turkey that we wouldn't really fool with much anyway, and see what we can get him to do.
What up, dude?
What's going on?
How are you?
Tired?
I bet.
So Edward drove up the day before, in the middle of the night, the day before everybody else got there. Picked Edward up at the boat ramp, and we got a quick hunt in, and it ended up being really good. Probably gonna want to start myself.
I mean, look at these things in here.
Yeah, and I sprayed bifin in here. You get away from this camp, they'll carry you off. We got out of the boat and the wind was freaking howling. And as a turkey hunter, you don't like wind. And I knew a general area where this turkey was at, but we couldn't hear him. And all I knew to do was just walk in there and try to get as close as we could. Like, we heard him gobble, but couldn't tell which direction he was, but we knew he was close because we knew we couldn't hear him if he was far off. So it took a little while to kind of get a course on exactly where he was, but once we did, it was kind of thick in there, but we just got in as tight as we felt like we could, sat down and yelped a couple times and kind of got him fired up, and next thing you know, it was like, dang, we might kill this bird. So as we got in there, we found out it was 2 turkeys gobbling. So the turkey that was actually closest to us wasn't gobbling much. But once he did fire off, it was like, oh crap, he's close. And next thing you know, he pops up and he can't be 50, 60 yards, and he gobbles, and it blows our hat off.
Hey, I think I just saw him. I think I just saw him. Yeah, I definitely see him. I see him. Look at that. Right there. You see him?
Next thing you know, he comes in on a string, and it was so thick, we knew he was going to have to be close to shoot him, but he got out there at about 25 yards and gobbled, and it was like, I can't take it anymore. I got to shoot this turkey, but I couldn't. He had to come a little bit more, and I think we ended up shooting him at like 15, 16 yards.
so cool.
I've seen 2 mosquitoes bigger than him this morning. Y'all aren't kidding.
Dude, I'm telling you, this ain't nothing.
They eating through this thermocell.
So we picked Erin up, Edward's wife, that afternoon, and you know she's never killed a turkey before, so it was like, you know, the mission was get Erin a turkey.
You ready?
Ready. It's a little early.
You know what you're doing?
No.
And you really want to aim where the red meets the black.
Okay.
That's where you aim. The first morning of Erin's hunt, had a good hunt off the roost, gobbling turkeys, hens yelping, and in typical turkey fashion, this gobbler hung out just outside of range with some hens, but just a heck of a morning, you know, for her first hunt. We're about to make a loop, run and gun in the boat. So we left there, hopped in the boat, drove a little ways, got out, immediately had a turkey answer us. Ended up calling the hens away from the gobbler, and they came to 15 yards and the gobbler hung up. You know, typically when you get those hens coming, the gobbler's gonna be in tow. So it was really intense. The gobbler ended up just hanging out just outside of range again. And so a couple good hunts, but couldn't get it done. And you know, I had really wanted to be there to help Erin get a turkey, but I had to leave at lunch. And Edward and Erin went back out after they dropped me off to a spot where we had left some turkeys that morning. And sure enough, get on a gobbling turkey and another close encounter. But the funny part is they get back to where they tied the boat up and the boat is gone. And Edward calls me and he was like, hey man, about the boat. I tied it up, it's gone. It's somewhere floating down the Mississippi River.
So I called Payne, one of our buddies up there.
I said, man, what's going on? What are you doing? And he said, about to walk in a meeting. And I said, an important meeting? He said, well, kind of, what's up? I said, man, we missing a boat. It's floating down the middle of the Mississippi River. Thank God for them. They went, put a boat in. They initially drove up the river and didn't see it and called me back and said, we don't see it. And I said, man, it's probably pretty good ways down the river by now. So they drive down, and sure enough, they find it, and it's just floating down the middle of the Mississippi River, unmanned. So luckily, they were able to retrieve it and bring it back to the island for us. So big shout out to them. Thank y'all. Aaron and Reagan and I strike out to a spot that historically has had a bunch of turkeys in it and didn't hear any off the roost, and set up in a spot that I felt like we had a good chance to hear one. And I remember looking down at my phone, and it was like 6:58. And I told myself, well, at 7 o'clock, we're going to make a move. So I look back at my phone, and it turns 7 o'clock. And I go to stand up, and I'm sitting against a blowdown, huge cottonwood that blown down. And right as I go to stand up, I hear one gobble, and he's 50, 75 yards right behind me. So once I see the turkey, I see that he's kind of moving to my left. And so I tell Erin to scoot around to the left of the tree because she's 5 or 10 yards in front of me. And instead of scooting around the tree to the left, she just basically turns her shoulder against the tree. And in her defense, I had not really gone over that, but gets just dead even with me, and he's kind of looking for the hen, doesn't see it. And so he's still not quite far enough for Erin to see around the tree she's on. And so he finally gets to where she can see him, but there's some stuff in her way, and she doesn't know whether or not she can shoot him. And full disclosure, I probably should have gone over that a little bit better than I did, but he finally realizes something's up, and he starts walking off. And shoot him, baby.
So I could hear Edward behind me telling me, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. And there's still some trees in between me and him, and I can't really tell whether I can take the shot or not. So the turkey finally comes into view, and there's branches and some vines in between me and the turkey, and Edward hasn't told me anything about what I can and can't shoot through. No shot.
in her defense, I do think that the only instruction I actually gave her was about turkey hunting was you just can't move. You just got to be completely still. They can see so good that I really tried to harp on her how still you have to be turkey hunting. And I guess I didn't really go over, hey, you can shoot through a little brush, and when I say scoot to the left, that means all the way around to the left. And I get it. I'm harping to her over and over that you can't move, and now I'm telling her to move. So I could see where, you know, I'm going to take a little bit of the blame on that one. I probably should have been a little bit more thorough in my instructions.
I let him walk off and I didn't take the shot, but at least I didn't miss like Bo did.
So the last morning, Aaron had to go home the previous afternoon, so Archie went with Owen and to like the south end of the island, and Reagan and I decided we'd go kind of towards the middle part of the island that we really hadn't hunted a lot. And kind of like the day before, we really didn't hear much off the roost. We got to a spot where there's just a ton of tracks through the woods, more tracks I've ever seen, just out in the middle of the woods. And I told her, why don't we just sit down here for a little bit, 30, 45 minutes, and call a few times and see what happens. And we hadn't been sitting down there 15, 20 minutes. And I look kind of over out in front of me to the right, and I see a turkey. I'm at like the top of this knoll, and it kind of goes downhill a little bit. There's a little bit of a grade there into this little hardwood bottom, and she's 5, 6 yards in front of me on the tree.
Hey, he's right out in front of you. He's right out in front of you.
Ed's the tree behind me. And hey. With lots of urgency in his voice. They're coming. About 5 minutes goes by. I don't see this bird that he's talking about. And then, so I turn around, I'm like, where? He's like, just keep watching right in front of you. So he can clearly see something that I can't.
Once he gets down this little bottom, I lose sight of him for a couple minutes, and I'm looking at my camera screen, and I can't see him. He's not moving, and I don't really know where he is. And finally, I see some movement on my camera screen, and I look to the right of my camera, and I can see him down this bottom, and she can't see him yet because I'm just a few feet higher than she is, and so I can just see the top of his head. And so I tell her to scoot to the right, but by that time they were already probably a little too close, and she kind of scooted to her right, but not enough.
Here he comes. Turn to your right. There's 2 of them.
this much of their head.
So these birds finally come into view, and the lead bird on the far left steps right up where I can see his full body, and he's right behind a tree. So the other birds come into perfect view for me to shoot, but they're all clustered up together, and I would have killed multiple if I would have shot at that group. These birds start walking off, and I said, in my head, I'm thinking, it's now or never. They all start moving to the left towards the thicket to walk away and separated back out. So I picked one out, said it was now or never, let it fly, knew immediately that I missed, did not get it done, and they're taking off. And they're still all separate, so I let the other one fly, just hoping to get lucky, and fortunately my opportunity was missed today. So obviously I'm upset that I missed my first turkey. I've never missed a turkey until today, and I turned to Ed. I've already got a tear rolling. I'm upset, and he gave me such good perspective. You have not been turkey hunting enough if you have never missed a turkey. And for me, it actually made me feel a ton better because I am new at this. I've only been turkey hunting for a few years. I'm so ate up with it. But honestly, if I'm not crying because I missed a turkey, like I don't want any part of it. I'm good.
So she was a little upset about it, which, you know, it happens. She isn't the first or last person to ever miss a turkey. So, you know, but still having 5 longbeards inside 15, 20 yards, especially gobbling, is always a cool experience for sure.
To 100, I don't think I lose my enthusiasm.
Hold on, wait 1 second. Gotta make sure one separates out of there.
You like the tackle box?
Yeah, I can't believe a man that sells baits for a living got a tackle box that looks like that. Well, it is engraved. You got your name written on it.
That's correct. And they're cheaper.
Hold it back up there.
And they're cheaper than the ones I sell too.
Hey, I know you sell about 600 and something million crickets a year, you and your family, but we ain't using crickets this morning. We got to use the jig.
Well, I have a little bit different job than most folks. My family's been in the cricket business for many years. My grandfather actually started in 1947. He was the first one to ever commercially raise crickets. Well, this is one of our buildings here. We have the adult crickets in. As you can hear the chirping noise, the cricket will not chirp until he's fully grown. And these are the actual fishing size crickets, the adult size. But the chirping, it annoys a lot of people. But to me, it sounds like money in the bank. It's a beautiful noise to me. And these crickets here, they'll wind up going from here to another building we call our catch building. And from there, they'll take all the paper out of the boxes. And from there, they'll go to another room where they actually take them out of these boxes and put them in the shipping boxes. And from there, they'll be dispersed all over the country. And right now, it's February. The fishing end of it's not much going on, but we're selling a few adults to the fishing end of it. And that's what these crickets here are mainly used for.
Jim, you're a lucky man. The last hunter I had was Brian, and soon as he got here, we had a cold front blow in, and it shut the birds down. They wasn't doing hardly anything. They gobble a little bit on the limbs, some of them, but they wouldn't do anything on the ground. As soon as you get here, it's bluebird skies. Perfect weather. It's still cold, but they like it. The wind's not blowing.
Fan's holding up pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, better than it was last weekend. That rain kind of, she didn't look real good. She's looking good now, though.
It's endured a lot in just 2 weeks, but it's hanging in there. All right, look, you see those palmettos right up there?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna ease through those and get right where they break out into the wide open woods, set up right there overlooking the big bottom.
We'll be hunting right in the edge of the palmettos.
That's right. Yeah. Get in there and hope for the best.
Well, that looks good. Let's go. And just last week, came over turkey hunting. Wasn't in the woods probably 15 minutes. Had 2 huge gobblers fly down. Missed. A tree jumped out in front of me. I don't know how that happened. Of this turkey hunt, it's a pretty good old miner. What is that, a bulldog then?
That's a hackberry.
Hackberry. And as you can well see, we had a good center shot on the old tree.
You killed the hackberry. Another hackberry kill.
And the gobbler was well in range. We're gonna get us a new turkey gun next year, or before I come back.
The afternoon hunt, what we do over here is we pick a roosting spot, and we know where the turkeys like to roost, and they don't roost in the same spot every night, so it's not a sure thing. So you just pick one, and you go down there and you set up, and you set your decoys up on a high spot where they can see them the farthest. These woods down there are wide open, and I feel like we got a new decoy this year, and I feel like if something comes in there and sees that thing, he's gonna get in there and give us a shot.
Hey, I'm just gonna keep calling like we've been doing. I got faith that, something's gonna walk out through these wide open woods. They can see that decoy for 200, 300 yards in places. We don't have to do any loud calling.
All right.
We got a gobbler sitting out here. Probably about, if the decoy was 12 o'clock, he's at 9 o'clock. But Jim got turned around good on him, got his gun up, propped up on his knee, and I'm excited because it's early. I mean, it's like 4:30 in the afternoon, and every time you get a bird that early in the afternoon, you got a real good chance of getting him in.
Strutting and drumming. The one on the right's a long beard. Yeah, be careful because they are looking hard. One on the right, left. One on the right. Both of them long beard. Which one's better looking? I can't tell.
I was pumped. My heart was about to jump out of my chest when Jim said, "I see him." But I couldn't see him. Bird must have been behind a little clump of trees, and he said, "They're coming straight to us." Jim, I could feel his heart beating against my right shoulder. And they just came in there like you want them to. And now Jim gets excited. I looked over there and I could see his gun barrel just twisting around in circles.
We got him, Jim.
But you know, when Jim got here, you could see the stress on his face from the miss that happened about 6 days ago, last Sunday. And he said he hadn't gotten any sleep all week long. And I know how it is. I've missed turkeys before myself. And it hurts bad. And you could just see it written all over his face.
Where'd it go, bro?
To make it worse, you know, I had the video. I videoed that footage last week, and we always dump it off on a VHS tape so they can take it home, show the family and the buddies and everything. He showed the wrong guy, so the guys at work that worked with him up there at the cricket farm, they started calling him the Hack Master because he shot the hackberry tree. So Jim the Hack Master. So that was making it even worse on him. So, but he finally redeemed himself, you know.
We had 2 of them on us?
Just like 2 of them. 2 of them, man. I can't believe it.
4:50, we hadn't been out here 2 hours?
10 minutes to 5.
10 minutes to 5.
It's not gonna be dark for another hour and a half. Man, that's awesome. That
Beautiful sight.
2 birds. Well, you kind of made up for that miss last weekend.
Yeah, I had a little action.
All right, we're halfway through week 6, Mossy Oak turkey season 2026. If you've been keeping up, we're doing the 10 commandments, tongue-in-cheek, of turkey hunting. Commandment number 6, and this was personal one I wrote myself, thou shalt not prank with snakes. Now, I've always had the reputation of being a little jumpy. And I ain't scared of Bigfoot, UFOs, spiders. I can handle all that. I don't worry about that. Snakes, that's what gets to me. And it ain't got to be a live snake. It can be a fan belt or a rubber hose. But once you get the reputation of being jumpy, people gonna mess with you. And the story I told about this up at the NWTF, way back in the day, me and some of my cronies, Bubba, Terrell, all them guys, we went on a do-it-yourself hunt out west. And the way we were able to pull that off, because nobody had any money, we started saving money, and we all put like $200 a piece in a can, an old coffee can. We all went in one vehicle, and that's what we spent money out of that for gas and food. It was a great hunt. But anyway, the main thing I saved up for was, and they don't even make any more, it was a Browning down sleeping bag. It was the coolest thing ever. And I had never had anything that good. I would roll that thing up and then unroll it and tie it back up. It looked like something you'd see on the cover of a camping magazine. I was gonna be the man. So anyway, we get up there, we're sleeping out. You know, we got a little tarp and all this stuff. And the first night, I had a little headache. I had trouble going to sleep because we're at an altitude. I was getting an altitude headache. Anyway, at some point during the night, I wake up a little bit, and when I turned, I felt something at my foot, and I immediately knew it was a snake. And not that there's a lot of them out there, but there's a few, and plus I'm half asleep anyway. I just panicked. The next couple of minutes, I don't even remember what happened, but I knew it was a snake in my sleeping bag. Long story short, the sleeping bag was just absolutely destroyed. The zipper's gone. It looked like a dog got in it. I mean, it took me several tries to get out of it, tore up this brand new $100 sleeping bag, and them knuckleheads had cut open a whole pack of hot dog weenies while I was asleep and put them in there. And when I rolled over against that hot dog weenie, I was like, oh my gosh, it's a snake. It wasn't funny at the time. It's kind of funny looking back now, but remember, turkey 10 Commandments number 6, do not prank with snakes, especially if somebody's scared of them. Back to the show.
That was awesome.
Well, Billson killed in, you know, quick fashion, and we got back to the cabin and really kind of enjoyed it, hung out, cooked, fried fish, fried turkey, ate really well, and the next morning we had a good idea of where a turkey had been hanging out. But we got up and shoot, it was windy. It was super windy that morning, and we didn't hear much. Really didn't hear anything off the limb. And come to find out, that turkey probably wasn't 200 yards from us from where he was actually on the ground from where we had set up, and ended up, cows was in between us and that turkey. Well, we ended up trying to make a move while the cows was coming in between us and the turkey, and there was just so much noise, and it just seemed like a good time to try to make a move on that turkey. And he went silent, and I don't know if it was us or the cows, but we ended up going to some more birds that Taylor knew was hanging out from the road, where he was listening, trying to see if they would gobble while we were hunting. And they didn't say much, but he said, yeah, y'all go on down in that bottom and we'll try to get them fired up. And that was the difference. We were about to hit a crow call, and one just blew our hats off, and we're all trying to figure out where it come from because the wind's blowing so hard. Me and Drake are pretty confident it's like 100 yards that way. Confident it's that way. Only thing we could think to do was just send Drake up above us and kind of try to drag the calling up above us and get that turkey to break, get away from his hands if he had him down there, or maybe think that hen that we were replicating was, you know, drifting away from him. And
he's right there. He's within 100 yards of us right now, so we're trying to figure out where he's at. We got some shit between us. Bleep that part out.
feet, 10 feet.
Come on.
Let's go.
Let's go! Dude, that video was insane.
Where's Big Levy?
Where's Big Levy?
Congrats, dude.
Let's go.
Oh my God. It's like you draw it up.
Right in our face.
Oh.
Where's Levy?
I think the only time he broke was whenever I heard on the hoop call. They like.
I was back there. Did y'all hear me gobbling back there? I was raising 9. I don't even know if this thing is on still. Don't look like it.
I think I actually probably. I was laying down for probably 30, 45 minutes.
I moved probably 80 yards behind it.
Yeah, like 10 minutes into the ordeal, we could tell that they were going to be hung up in the bottom and not really want to come up. So laps and forward, up here, and started yelping, and we could barely hear them, but they still heard them. You know, they were still gobbling. I don't know, 20 yards probably. Pulled over like a stack of taters.
Intimidator load.
With.
Yeah, the blender.
The Wendy's. Sure enough, I mean, if it wasn't 45 minutes, it was an hour that we had laid there with that turkey, and finally, I don't know what it was, but he'd finally got mad enough that he'd come up that ridge, and whenever he did, there was a little clump of cedars that he was either coming on the right side or the left side, and there was a 10 yards difference between the two, and he sure enough put on a show. He broke the cedars and gobbled 3 or 4 times, and I believe I think I shot him probably 20, 25 yards, and that was it. That was as good of a way as I could think to shoot my first Rio, and it was fun. He made us work for sure, but it was cool.
I'm Lamar Williams. I've been making turkey calls since 1978. First started making wing bone calls and started making box calls around 1980. And I've been making them ever since. Started making paddle calls about 1985, 86, and I'm still doing the same thing. I just always loved the turkey hunt. Nobody in my family really hunted, so I think it was just a God-given thing for me to do that. And I used to fall turkey hunt and with some friends of mine, and then I migrated into spring gobbler season, and I just loved it. And I figured if I could make my own calls, try to make my own calls, it'd be great. I just love to do it. I like working with my hands, and I've just always liked doing those types of things. What I've done is I've drawn the pattern and the radius for the call on the block, and now I've gone and I've checked it with a 3/4 inch chisel. And of course, I use a knife to draw the borders and so forth. But all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to create the individual checks in the call, and the paddle will be done the same way. You got to be careful, depending on the wood, not to go too deep with the checkering. Anytime you're removing wood, you're affecting the sound of the call. Neil Cost was my mentor. I was his first student, and I had tried to make box calls, was making some box calls, glued together box calls, and Neil got me on solid block construction, on drilling calls out rather than gluing them together. So he and I became friends. I met him at the Florida Convention in '79, I believe it was, and we would talk back and forth over the period of a year or two, and we got to be just good friends. And I'd go up and visit with him, and he encouraged me to continue what I was doing. I'd take calls I'd go see him 4 or 5 times a year, go up and hunt with him, and of course when we were hunting, we'd get in the evenings and so forth, we'd be making box calls, or try to make box calls, and he would show me different things, and it was just he was very instrumental in my call making, from his encouragement, and I hunted with him a number of times, fished with him. We had a great relationship. A lot of the call makers now have gone to the exotic woods for paddles and for the bodies even, and I just chose to stick to the traditional side of things. There's a few of us still out there, not a lot of us. It just goes back, it's all part of history. I'm glad to see Mossy Oak go back to this vest they're making. I know they made a special vest some years back. Today I'm going to be working on some calls that Mossy Oak commissioned me to make for the Fox Hayes vest. I'm making those calls from some yellow poplar. Yellow poplar came out of Mississippi, and I'm going to do a 2-check on those calls, which I rarely do anymore. Pretty much stick to the single checks. But I thought I'd do something different. I've also inlaid the bottoms on the calls, and that's something I don't normally do. But this is just, I thought these particular calls, because they came from Mississippi, would be, the wood itself came from Mississippi. It would fit in nicely with Mossy Oak. I've used Mossy Oak camo for years. Well, let's just say I was honored. When they called me to make these calls, I I was elated to do it. In fact, I think I called Neil several times, wanting to know, when they were coming and so forth and so on. But, it's a great honor. Right now I'm changing paddles out on the calls to see which one's going to give the best sound to me. And I've discarded this one. This one won't make the cut. Those two I like, but I got this one and one more to try before I settle on one. Those are I think pretty good right there. All paddles give different sounds. I mean, you can tell that by just listening. To me, the paddle's what makes the call. I mean, of course you got the body does too, but depending on how much wood removal, but the paddle makes it really come around where it needs to be. All I do is tighten the screw to get the call towards the paddle more towards the middle of the call. It's going to give a little bit different sound. This is one of the calls, one of 10 calls that I'm making for Mossy Oak for wild turkey conservation. This call is made from black walnut and yellow poplar. The yellow poplar came out of Mississippi. But this is a 2-check call. I've inlaid the call on the bottom. I don't do that normally, but I did it for this special edition. And this call, Mr. Fox, is for you.
Well, all right, we're still in South Texas this week. We're going to split. We're going to part ways. Seth's going to head to the Bomber Ranch, hunt with good friend Alex Bomber. He's got some birds on his place. It's not very big, but he's got birds. Let's see how he fares.
Turkey Hunter is brought to you by Browning, the best there is.
All right, guys, we just rolled into the Bomber Ranch in Zavala County. I'm hunting with my good friend Alex. I've been looking forward to this for a little while. He's got a great ranch. He's been managing here for I don't know how many years. I think he grew up here, but Alex is actually running a camera for me this week, so I got the owner and guide and a #1 cameraman, so we're going to try to get after him. But first afternoon, we're going to prospect. We're going to go around, hit some of these food plots. You can see this big pretty food plot he's got going back here. Growing some peas, got it irrigated, but hasn't been turkey hunted in a little while, so we're going to see if we can't sneak around and find one of these big old Rio Grand turkeys here in Zavala County. So let's give it a whirl. Get down about this tree and then call. Okay, sounds good.
say we set up at this pond and they'll come. I mean, or we could go back this way. Where were they? There's 2 birds. Were they right there or back this way? Oh yeah, I say we set up by the pond. Let's go.
Well, Seth and Alex set up, and no more than sit down, and they look up, and there's a longbeard in front of them right where the goblin is coming from. But when Seth yelps, he notices another bird gobbles, and he's just out of sight. Well, upon yelping again, another bird gobbles in behind him. So he's in a good situation right here. He's got hens up here, which is why this bird is in full strut. They're just out of sight. There's another longbeard with him, and he's got a bird in behind him, and he's closing the distance. Well, he gets close. He's in behind him, spitting and drumming, stepping all over him, but he never comes around in front of him. And eventually, Seth looks up and notices the hens have stepped out in the sendero.
All right, here comes the hens right here. All right, here comes the hens. What a great afternoon, guys, here on the Bomber Ranch. We had a flash hunt. I think we were an hour into the hunt, but that's what I love about a fresh ranch that hasn't been hunted. Got here about 3 o'clock, got unpacked. About 4 we left, and at 5 we had this big boy flopping. I'm hunting with Alex Bomber on his family ranch in Zavala County, and we went over to a known area. It's got some water. We're in the middle of a drought here in Texas, and this pond, they call them tanks here in Texas, it's got water on it year round. And we snuck in here on his electric golf cart, hit the box call once, nothing, twice, nothing, and lucky 3rd time, and 2 of them gobbled, and then the hens started yelping, and we snuck in, didn't even have time to put out any kind of decoys, sat down, used the cactus as our backdrop, and I mean, we were getting the cameras and everything set, and I looked up and one strutting down here at the end of this sendero, and he wouldn't come in, and I could hear the hens off to the left in this bottom, and this bird gobbled with those hens. And as we're sitting there watching that strutter at the end, I hit the box call real lightly one more time when that bird moved off, and one gobbled right behind us. And for the next 5 minutes, he's stepping all over us drumming. And when he started drumming, these hens could hear him, and they started coming to that drumming bird. And this guy was in tow, and he came right down the sendero. The hens ducked off to the left, and when he presented a shot, I told Alex I'm going to take him. Pulled the trigger, the Browning Maxes 2. I'm shooting the Indian Creek 670 with the Foxtrot 8.9s, and about 45 yards did a number on this big old Rio. What a beautiful bird, big old pretty 1.25 inch spurs, probably 3-year-old turkey. What a hunt here on the Bomber Ranch, guys.
Turkey Hunter is also brought to you by Woodhaven Custom Calls. Indian Creek Shooting Systems, Foxtrot Ammunition, Vortex Optics, and Worldwide Pursuit.
Potatoes. That.
Looks like a little Texas boot right there. Lone Star State.
From the field to the frying pan.
So good.
All right, guys, it is morning number 1 here on the Bomber Ranch, and I am excited. We had a great flash hunt yesterday afternoon. Took a real pretty 3-year-old longbeard. So this morning we're going out to a spot that we've had some success in the past. We heard one gobble from a long distance, but he might just be coming our direction. So we're going to post up and see if we can't get his attention this morning. So I'm excited.
Well, Seth and Alex head to the location where they heard that bird gobble the evening before. But when they get there, it's just a little too dark to know where to set up. So they ease back to a sister field that's pretty close to them, and they decide to set up on that, let daylight unfold, and then make a plan. Well, upon daylight, nothing is gobbling. So they decide to revisit that field that they were going to set up in that morning, and sure enough, there's a longbeard and a pile of hens. Well, they're heading in a certain direction. Alex knows exactly where they're going, so they head to the field where he thinks they're going, and they set up.
All right, so we're thinking they're about 300 yards that way. All right. We're hoping these birds are going to come out somewhere right in here. Last we saw them, they're about 400 yards that way. And so we're hoping they're going to come out in this brush, see this jade decoy, and come in here and pick a fight. So let's go. Let's go get set up.
Well, they get set up, and Seth starts pretty calling, and eventually the hens start to answer him. And sure enough, guess who is in tow? Well, this bird sees the decoys, and it's go time. He forgets totally about these hens, but look at his left foot as he's crossing this field. Notice something is missing.
think I got in my decoy a little bit. That was a hunt, baby. That was it. That's awesome. 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 What a great morning here on the Bomber Ranch, guys. It goes to show sometimes you cannot have a gobble one on the roost and have an incredible hunt. This morning we went where we were last night, and we tried to roost them, and we have one gobble over in this direction. And we came over and we looked out here in this field, and it was just a little too dark to figure out where to set up. And so we elected to go to that first spot. First thing this morning, not a gobble one. No gobbles here, no gobbles over there. We said, all right, now that the sun's up and we can see what we're doing, let's go back over, try to lay eyes on those birds. And sure enough, on the electric cart, we got close to the field and we could see in the back the group of hens and this strutter. Now Alex, here's the benefit of hunting with the ranch owner. He knew the direction those birds were going, that they were going to come to this little sister field right next to the other one. And we made a big loop around, walked in, got set up. I got the decoys out, and we were probably here 30 minutes. So last time we saw them, they were about 400 yards that way. And we just sat down and I just did some pretty calling on the slate, on the crystal, as a matter of fact. Just little light yelps, some purrs. And we're chilling, and I heard a drum. I said, Alex, do you hear that? And he's like, yeah, I hear it. And I thought it was to our left, but it was this guy following those hens. And we heard it 2 or 3 times. I just sat there, and then I yelped. And the hen yelped back to me. I yelped again. She yelped back to me. Next thing I know, I see the first hen, second hen, and it's the same group of hens I saw with the gobbler, and I thought, he's got to be in tow. And sure enough, the hens came out. They saw the decoys, didn't like them. They started to skirt, and I thought, oh man, because he's not going to leave. But sure enough, he laid eyes on that Jake decoy, and he was committed. And he came out there, flogged him a couple times, extended that neck up, and I pulled the trigger. Browning Max's 2, Indian Creek 670, and I'm shooting Foxtrot 8-9 blends, and it ate him up about 30 yards. And I have another beautiful big old Rio Grand turkey. I mean, the spurs on this guy are sharp and daggers just like the ones from yesterday. But look at this, old Mr. Two-Toe. Isn't that crazy? I've never shot a two-toed turkey. Looks like he's had an accident along the way and lost the big middle toe, but what a cool trophy. Big old spurs and 2 toes. But this concludes another incredible hunt I've had here at the Bomber Ranch. A couple of years ago, I had a great hunt with my buddy Reno, and I came out by myself while Russell and his dad were about an hour away trying to chase some hen-duck birds as well. So I would say the old decoys got this one, because if that Jake wouldn't have been out there, he would not come to challenge. And you know what? You got to be resourceful as a hunter. You got to do what you got to do. And I am happy to put my tag on this big old Rio Grand gobbler. Just let him come in here and shoot him at like 8 yards. Or right there.
It's getting close. Be looking out there. That's it over here. That's it over here. About 1 o'clock. Strider. Yeah. It's on top of the flag. I'm such a bind. I just not be able to move that long. I took the whole thing because he was so close to that gun. She was so tight. I had to shoot. I don't know what to say. I mean, it was beautiful. We are hunting some wide open field turkeys right here, no doubt. And there is a lone turkey. Brian, you think honey up in that turkey way out there? Swing around to the left side of those decoys. As soon as he clears those decoys. You on him, Zach? Ready? Holy cow. Yeah. Man, that was perfect. They did just like you said they would too. Ready to go. And they're just walking in, there was tracks everywhere.
Turkey hunters, that's what they live for right here. That's the first thing I look at when I walked up there. You and I come up there and I saw these big pearly white spurs. Mr. Brian, I can't thank you enough, man. It's been awesome.
It's a pleasure. Every year it's a pleasure.
It is too, so. Well, what do you say? I'll carry the turkey. Will you carry the gun? You do the honors?
I'll carry the gun. I think it's lighter.
Yeah, that's for sure. Golly, it's gonna be just fine because we're toting the turkey out.
Let's set a spot up. That looks good over here. Maybe set the decoy down on the bottom, just in case he comes across this tree crossing, this creek crossing over here, or if he comes over here, we've got enough field of view for him to spot it. Set up right over here. Sounds like he's going on the right a little bit. He may come out of that creek crossing. Oh, he's across the creek. He's across the creek. He's on our side. Oh, he's coming. He's coming to the right. Steps for me. You see him? You see him? You want him?
What a beautiful bird. Gosh, look at that. Man, was he pretty. Good beard, spurs. Coming through the green bottom, I mean, it was just as pretty as could be.
That is my first turkey ever. In January of 1969, horn rim glasses. So we ran and there was a whole flock of turkeys in the field, and so we backed out without spooking them. You know, we just peeked in there and backed out, and about 200 yards from the food plot, and just sat down, and Daddy started calling, and you know, and it was like, I think 7 jakes came walking right up to us, and you know, it was a big deal. But and honestly, back then there weren't nearly as many turkeys as we have today. We need to be grateful for what we do have. You know, as we evolve, I'd love for people to get more and more concerned with having them than just killing them, you know. And the killing is just a byproduct of having them and take care of them first and having kind of a life of abundance.
Yeah, when my dad told me we were coming to Florida to kill a turkey, I didn't believe him.
I thought he was lying. I wouldn't believe him. I was like, what? There's no way.
I don't think they really knew what to expect. Eli's only been once or twice, didn't see a turkey. You know, Caston's been on some, just didn't act right. For us, this is once in a lifetime deal. Outdoors is a huge part of our lives. We were taking them backpacking when they were, tiny little kids. Just carried a little backpack with a sleeping bag in it. We still do that to this day, and they get mad when we have to miss a spring or fall camping trip. We shoot squirrels, dove, you name it. Deer hunting, they're ate up with it now. I never pressured them. It was always kind of, I went, they watched, and then they'd sit with me. And finally, when they got, they were comfortable enough to shoot a gun, we took off and took 1 or 2 deer, and I can't hold them back now.
We had a camp house. It was my grandfather's camp house. We used to always go out there, shoot guns, ride around. We had a little motorbike we would ride around on, fish.
My dad started us into it when we were young. squirrel hunting and deer hunting, and we stay on the river bunch. We set limb lines for catfish.
You know, I feel it's important to get them out as much as I can at this age before their teenagers really kick in. At least get them some good experiences and something they'll always come back to, I believe.
My dad's been working for Mossy Oak for quite a while, and I've seen them go on all these hunts, and I've always wanted to go on one.
He came home from work. He was like, well, there's a chance to go to Florida and hunt Osceola turkeys. Don't go telling everybody.
So when I first told Eli we were going on this trip, I had to hold him back. He was gonna go tell his buddies, just wait, you know, wait till it's over, then tell him.
I thought he was lying. I wouldn't believe him. I was like, what? There's no way.
I didn't believe him. He came in there, I was like, there's no way we're going to Florida. Kill my first turkey.
I mean, they're pumped. I don't think they really knew what to expect. Like, you know, we haven't been turkey hunting much. Eli's only been once or twice, didn't see a turkey. Now, Caston's been on some, just didn't act right.
Jason, Brandon, good to meet you.
Neither.
Good, nice to meet y'all. Caston.
We're excited.
Y'all killed Osceolas before?
Nah, never. They still never killed turkey.
Yeah,
So be there.
I like that.
First one if they get lucky.
You know, this is the place to get lucky.
Yeah.
First day we show up about lunchtime, and we shoot the guns a couple times, get comfortable. Casting goes out.
First evening in Florida, Mr. Brandon just dropped us off, got us all set up. He said that there's some turkeys roosting to our south. He said we're just gonna do some light calling and hope we get a turkey. Wish us luck. It wasn't but like 20 minutes. Here they come, 3 of them walking around the corner. Hey, 3 turkeys. We just stepped in the field. When they came right at us, I was shaking. I had turkey fever. The little red dot was kind of moving like that. I just had to line it up and hold my breath. Hopefully I missed. I was scared I was gonna miss. Good job. That's a dead turkey. When I first shot him, I didn't think it was real. I thought I was dreaming.
Dude, heck yeah, your first turkey.
That's a big turkey.
How about that?
Look at all the colors on it. Oh my gosh.
Can you believe that?
I can do that. Was so quick.
How long were we hunting?
Like 20 minutes.
They came right in, didn't they?
All them colors. Yeah, when I saw the turkey up close, I didn't think they had so many colors on them. I thought they were just like black. But once you look at it, they start shining. And it's like purple and orange and green. And they're really pretty. Oh man, that's a long beard.
You got a good beard on him?
Yeah. Oh man, dude, that's some big spurs.
Awesome, dude. Congrats.
That was so much fun.
Dude! First one. That is awesome. Good spurs. That was cool, man. So what happened? Tell us the story.
That's probably the most fun I've ever had on. We were just sitting there, and then all of a sudden the 3 turkeys come out. They just walked right up to us. We did just a little bit of calling, and that's it. So you didn't do anything, just let you sit there. They just came right up. So, you happy for it?
A little bit.
Huh?
I could do better.
A lot of competitiveness. They're always going to try to outdo one another.
I mean, I was happy for him, but I kind of wanted to get one first.
Eli, you're not going to tell your brother he did a good job. Did you shake his hand, give him 5? So, oh, God, look at that. I promise they like each other.
So Brandon had roosted a turkey the night before. We knew where he was. We set up across the field from him. He was in the far corner. We called, never heard him gobble. Not saying he would, I just think it was too windy to hear him gobble.
It's a shredder, yeah.
Finally, it was probably 7:45, about 15 minutes after fly down, we saw him coming. He was strutting, looked like he was coming right at us.
Yeah, he's puffed up.
And a herd of cows come through.
We got hamburgers and fried turkey tonight. That'd be an expensive hamburger, I would imagine.
Turned him, he disappeared.
Back in
the deer.
Nature documentary.
So, we waited, we called here and there. I was calling about 15, 20 minutes later, a hen came up from behind us. Kind of walked through and did her thing, walked on by, and then looking back to her left, the original bird was coming down the tree line on the other side, strutting, full strut. You could see him gobbling, couldn't hear him, it was so windy, but you could see his neck stretched out. Thought for sure that was him, and then all of a sudden he hangs up about 100 yards. He's strutting, he's spinning, don't know why he's not coming in.
Yeah. He's going away. He's just walking away.
About to give up on it. He's kind of turning, looking like he's going away. I look to my right.
Right there. Right there. Right there.
And a giant gobbler, full strut, 10 steps away. Kind of the way we were set up, you couldn't see right to the right. And he just popped out in view. Afraid to move, he was so close. Luckily it was windy, so I think there was some forgiveness there. So trying to get set, turn on him, look over, and the first bird is coming in. I mean, he's running full stride, I guess, to take this turkey on. That was pretty cool to see. The second bird, obviously, I mean, huge beard. His fan was kind of messed up. You could tell he had been in a lot of fights. He was an experienced bird. They flopped around, slapped each other around a little bit, finally ran that first bird off. So he, full strut, he's worked up. He's obviously just ran off another bird, so I think, I don't know how long I had to hold on him, but he'd never come out of strut. Finally, he perked up just enough that I was able to take the shot.
Oh, damn. Got him. Look at that.
spurs, huge old white spurs too, ivory spurs. The past few turkeys I've killed, they didn't have spurs like these Osceolas. It's a different bird. Super pretty, more colors, dark black wings. It was just a very unique bird.
Yeah, it was that morning hunt. I didn't hear no shot or nothing, but we were sitting there. I was like, he got one? They're like, yep. I was like, dang, they all got one on their first hunt and I'm still trying to get one. I still can't get one. And I was like, I was excited for them, but I was also like, dang, I wish I had one.
I think Eli had a dark cloud around him the whole time. He would have some turkeys come up close, they'd be henned up, just weren't interested in him. You know, he pulled his gun up ready several times, just could never connect. They just weren't acting typical Osceolas. They were not acting right, were not coming to him. So he put in, I think, 2 full days of turkey hunting with no luck. Back in my mind, I was, this is gonna be a long ride home. Brandon knew where turkey was. It was in the afternoon, knew what field the turkey was in. So we took off. I was with him again. We took off to cut the bird off. Got on an old fence line, got all set up, waiting the bird, you know, ideally just like a turkey where you think it's gonna do and it doesn't, but set up for it to come straight across us.
All right, boys. Last we seen this gobbler, he was out here in this pine flat. There's an old food plot in front of us here, so hopefully he's gonna come through this way. I'll sneak out and get over here, put a decoy up off to the side here. But we're gonna get you all brushed in right here, just see if we can get this gobbler to come back through this way. He was roosted back here behind us this morning, so we'll think he's coming back through this way. Sweet.
So we're sitting there and all of a sudden, we're calling and we're looking. We know he's in front of us. We're waiting for him to come across. Eli looks up at me and his eyes get this big. He's like, there's a turkey, there's a turkey.
Right there, gobbler, right at that bush over there.
He's looking over my left shoulder.
He's strutting.
Is he coming this way?
He's at that bush just strutting over there.
Don't move. What's he doing?
He's coming, he's working his way.
Uh-oh. Is he gonna get it?
I don't know, he might see us. He's right there.
Coming in, full strut, can't move. And finally he's like, yeah, it's in range, it's in decoy range, but he's not set up. And I can't move, I'm looking at Eli, I can't move my head. And the turkey comes out, he's probably 15 steps to our right until I can see him in my peripheral vision.
Is he still in shooting range? This way.
Go slow, go slow. You got it, go slow. He's looking at Brandon. Go slow, go slow. He's gonna cross, get ready.
He's behind the fence.
Yeah, get ready, he's gonna cross. There he goes.
Eli!
Oh!
Good job. Finally.
Whew. First turkey. I thought it wasn't gonna happen. It was like crazy story too. I like that it kind of went down to the last time, because it's like when you play like a game or something, it goes into overtime and you win. It's almost better winning like that instead of winning right off the bat. Like, it was probably a better experience doing that instead of killing one in the first hunt. You're more excited. It was a lot more fun. I thought it wasn't gonna happen.
Me too.
Look at those spurs on it.
That is so freaking awesome.
Look at it, right? He's old.
You hear people say that Easterns are harder than any turkey. You might argue with them.
I couldn't believe it. I thought it was in a dream. I didn't know what happened. Real colorful. I was like, this is cool.
It was great, just the experience of seeing him so excited after putting in, over 2 days worth of work. But, just to go through all that and then him get the bird, it was just awesome.
My dad, he called my brother, and I was just gonna be so excited. My brother said, how big are the spurs? I told him to say bigger than yours.
I think Cassie finally, he came up, and I think the first thing out of his mouth was, did you kill a Jake? A lot of competitiveness. They're always gonna try to outdo one another. So, but, it worked out. They both got one. We still haven't measured the spurs yet, but we'll find out what happens there.
Maybe draft hunt. I can't believe it went down the way it did.
I think from Mossy Oak. Found Brandon 25 years ago, from what I understand, and he's still making it happen.
Hey, we didn't go a day without killing one.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Oh, wow. That was worth it.
I'm super grateful for Mossy Oak to give us this opportunity to come down to Florida and hunt Osceola turkeys. It's been something else. Mr. Brandon, he's been amazing for letting us come out here, and I've never been bored. We've been fishing, playing pool, hunting, and the meals are good.
Just coming to Florida, it was really cool seeing all the wildlife, the working cattle ranch. It was just cool just to see that while we were hunting, just seeing all the game out here. And I'm just thankful to be out here. We all have this story. It's gonna be a story we're telling for a long time. Me and my brother killing our first turkey out here with our dad, and him just giving us the opportunity just to come out here. Kind of glad he works at Mossy Oak. We can come out here for this trip. It might never happen again, but I hope it does. It's so fun out here. I'm just so thankful that I could be out here.
To 100, I don't think I lose my enthusiasm.
All right, there you go, week 6 in the books. We're rolling right along. I hope you're keeping up. Sometimes it's hard to keep up. Turkey season opens, you forget about it, but just remember, Mossy Oak Go app, YouTube or Facebook, you're gonna get, the thing about all this content